advised on that kind of stuff? And how do you guys get advised on how to get that stuff right?
Yeah.
I mean, John Linson he came up with the original idea, this guy John Linson, who studied, who hung out with, a club, or I don't know, maybe a couple of them. And then he hired Kurt to write the show, and then Kurt took over from there and kind of, did a lot of research. Kurt's a pretty thorough guy. And so that's where, they got it right. It wasn't hard once you stepped into that thing, that world, even just putting on the cut, that did something, right away.
So then you step out of it, and you mark Kim and Theo, and you meet a bunch of freaks like this, and they love you, right? And they love you. They love you. I love you. But how do you guys? Mark, you in particular. You still look and feel like Bobby, right?
Well, he wears his costume to sleep every day. Of course he does.
How do you convince people you aren't Bobby?
Look, I'm an old hippie. I looked like this in 1973. It's true. So, and then,
You're right, Bobby.
So I found the thing that suited me.
Kim and Mark, you guys are the only guys.
That's the look, right?
Well, Mark, let's follow up on your life. What has gone wrong? Ron Perlman's talked about a few mishaps over the years. What's gone wrong on set on motorbikes for the cast?
Has Ron Perlman talked about mishaps?
I know.
Someone's got to come off.
Has Perlman actually said that he rides? Did he say that?
He admitted he hadn't ridden until the show started.
Till the show started?
You mean was that a body double?
Now listen, every year since the day one, Boone and I were the two leads that knew how to ride great, and then everyone had to learn pretty freaking fast. And these are not 175cc Suzukis. These are Harley Davidsons, and every single year someone. I think we've been a little blessed. We've had some angels because people have gone down, which I can't say, but people have gone down on these things, and I'm telling you. We're really lucky because we're almost through, 7 seasons, and now when they say action, our best days are riding days. I'm not kidding. We don't do it enough.
Tommy went down one day really bad. I went down the last day of this. We couldn't figure it out. Second or third season
3.
10 o'clock in the morning. We're doing 14-hour days. We just started. I went around a corner. We didn't rehearse it. Hit a sand pile. I bounced off the pavement about 6 times. Just missed a rock. And finished the day at 11:30 that night.
People want to know, do you just actually
Good to know, Mary.
you actually get that script, you find out you're dead, and of course that's not the way it goes down. The leads of this show were all told at the beginning of whatever year it was, you will not make it through the year. Every lead was given that respect. So we knew that Opie was going to go, just what, when, how, why. And I want to tell you a little story. For those of you who remember, you're all going to remember this. It was Tommy, Charlie, and myself in the prison, looking at our boy Oak, giving it up. And on his last take, when the camera was on him, and he was looking at myself, Charlie, and Tommy, Boone, Theo, Pearl, Chris, DL, they all showed up and stood there behind Tommy, me, and Charlie, and we were all one. And Ryan's last look was at all of that, and it was a brilliant, brilliant moment.
Right before
Devastating.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was devastating. I think we got a clip of that, don't we? How do you guys know what a clip of it?
No, we don't have a clip of that. I don't know.
It's a clip of something else.
No, not of the murder.
We don't have a clip of that, but if you guys are here, you already knew it anyway.
You don't hear that, right? There's no clip of the murder.
It's the big clip.
We have a clip of Paul gave to him, because it was months later and Ryan was still kind of having a hard time not being around, and so he wanted to have a kind of a ceremony to separate himself from the character.
Let's have a look at that.
5 and I was 6. Horses made of sticks. She wore black and I wore white. She would always win the fight. Bang, bang, she shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down. Seasons came and changed the time. I grew up, I called her mine. She would always laugh and say, remember when we used to play? Bang, bang, I shot you down. Bang, bang, you hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I used to shoot you down. Music played and people sang. Just for me the church bells rang. She left town, I don't know why. I don't know why I had to die. Bang, bang, she shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
Selfish question. What are the chances, if any, of getting this thing signed by you boys? Because you're never going to hear it again.
And I tell you what, we'll take a look at that. Who's got any personal requests? Any personal requests? You can tweet me, and I'll probably divert them to somebody else. But right now, let's get some questions about the show. We're going to get these guys here for a little amount of time. You up the front here. Yeah, you, man. Yeah, you. Here they come.
You're avoiding the black is everywhere. No, not gonna happen.
Hello, non-joke machine, just a kid, get the black holes with the Stanley Cup.
Say again.
Will the Black Hawks win the Stanley Cup this year?
Yeah, I
What
got
the
that.
hell?
The Rangers are a bit on the tail here.
He's
And is
been
this a hockey question?
Yeah, I got it. The greatest thing about hockey is that anyone can win the frickin' thing once the playoffs start. That's the truth. NBA, not so much. Who gives a shit? I'm sorry. I really, hockey is that 16 teams have a shot. So will the Blackhawks win? Maybe, but the other 15 could too.
Is the only two things that Canada can survive on is your career success and hockey?
And hockey, that's it.
Okay.
100%.
And Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, Kim Coates, and hockey.
Don't bring up the beats.
Don't bring up Justin Bieber. Another question.
Would you like your own like death scene, or would you like to sort of fade out?
A group scene?
No, like
Fade, really? Are you asking, do they want to die individually and have their own big glorious moment, rather than all die in some orgiastic bloodbath?
Well, what you're saying is, would we rather survive if the show ends, or go out like an OB play? I mean, for me, I think personally, for me, and obviously I've been on a fucking tear since season 4. I would say, I don't know. There's something to a pretty iconic death scene that's kind of cool to have on a show. I think, as opposed to just be, standing there at the end. So.
What about you, Boone? I mean, how do you kill you?
How do you kill me? I've been killed a lot. we really have no idea how this thing is going to play itself out. And so, I mean, I think if
How would you like to die?
on the show,
At any point.
to be eaten, I guess.
To be eaten? If there are any women in the audience who want to eat Mark to death,
The auditions and stuff.
come and see me and we can make that happen. I'll film it, we'll broadcast it, job done.
Dead first and then eaten or eaten to
A
death?
lot of shit's gonna happen on the way to death.
That's what I'm saying.
We know that.
Alive.
There's a lot of eating.
My piece.
Yeah, it is. Alright, another question. Alright, I'm gonna go upstairs, but this guy's gonna fucking kill me in the car park. You with the glasses looks like Moby. You better not have a voice like Moby. Scream it out. You!
Are you happy with how your character is how...
Okay, the accent and the lack of microphone, big problem.
Juicy boy!
Alright, we got chimps up there. Alright.
Are you happy with how your character has developed, or... I know you're at the mercy of the writers, but are you happy with your characters and how they've developed, or would you prefer to see
No, I absolutely love it. I mean, I've been lucky enough on this one show to play almost every single emotion, from the comedy stuff in the beginning with this guy of feeding the Doberman crank and, you know, waking up in a diaper, to, you know, to killing people with pillows, to trying to kill myself, to killing cops, to running over people, to doing crazy stunts. I mean, I've been able to kind of do it all.
Can I ask a question on behalf of the audience? I mean, the dog, feeding the dog crank. I mean, can we expect when Sons of Anarchy finishes, you and Cesar Milan will do a new version of Dog Whisperer?
It's in the works.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
Another question, down the front. You know, work so hard, Tyler.
My question's for T. How difficult was it for you to act your scene when you were in love with Venus? A man with boobs.
Not difficult at all.
I don't doubt that.
If you've got a guy like Walton Goggins who's going to come on this show and shave his legs and shave every hair on his body and put on that wig and have breasts stapled to his chest like that and walk in pumps, and you can't love something like that, you're a douchebag. You're a total douchebag. Listen, we're both, Walton and I have great love and respect for each other. We're both dads and happily married. So I don't think Venus and Tig are going to run off together anytime soon. But what a fun journey it's been, right? I mean, those kinds of gems don't happen that often in the acting world. And when they do, and you're just not afraid to fail, it's freaking unreal with that guy. It's really a lot of fun.
Alright, another question. Let's go for you. Are you wearing a Sons of Anarchy jumper? Alright, because you could get arrested for that shit in this state.
You're my hero, pigs!
Hi, question for T. Hey, Kim, just a quick question. The scene where you drown the torture porn king in the bathtub full of piss.
Yeah.
Nasty, by the way.
That one.
How did you manage to act or like fake that emotion? Because as a father myself and seeing you, that just looks so real. That the suppressed rage where you just couldn't handle anymore. How did you manage to channel that, like as an actor? That was just incredible to watch. Like,
Thanks,
absolutely guttural.
Thanks. Yeah, no, that actor, it actually was a scene where I needed more from him. I really did. I needed more from him. And so I started to ad-lib a little bit in there. And say I couldn't hear him, or I couldn't. And I slapped him when I wasn't supposed to. And then I slapped him again when I wasn't supposed to. And he finally started to bring it. And then, you know, they kept the good stuff. And the rest of this.
And again, you can contact me and I can sort that out. Guys, big round of applause. Theo Rossi, Tim Coates, Mark Boone Jr. Sam Crow, guys. Thank the guy. Thank you, Brisbane. Get home safely.